Oh. Narayana. Hari Om and good morning from Cleveland. I have the opportunity to drive around a lot, going to different cities and different centers. And one of my favorite activities when driving is to look at signs, billboards, institution signs. So yesterday's sign that caught my attention was, 2 days ago, know the purpose, own the world. And it was a sign for a university, I can't remember right now. Know the purpose, own the world. And if you can bring that into the vision of Vedanta, the idea is one's inner world controls one's outer world. Know the purpose. Purpose is not external. Purpose is internal. Own the world is we can start to change the world. We can start to contribute to the world. Our scriptures say, Mana eva manushya. What is a person? It is their mind. And that's why in Vedanta, in the philosophy of yoga, we don't discuss a lot about changing the world. Because the experiences of our rishis is, if they change themselves, the world automatically changes. And we know that in a very tactile way. When you're happy, isn't your home happier? When your supervisor is miserable, isn't it everyone who's below them? They also become miserable. So we give endless attention to changing the world, but if we've not changed ourselves, that's just going to be temporary. I'm painting over the rust rather than cutting out the rust. This is the reason we're studying Ramayana. We still feel Ramayana is outside of us. We call Ramayana itihasa, it's historical, when actually Ramayana is our path to Rama. That is to our potential, that is to joy. We are studying our own lives. Last week, we explored how joy brings people together. Bhagwan Rama being in the forest, all of the forest people came. Who came after that? All of the people from Ayodhya came there too. And today there's a new group of people who are going to come also. Now, if Bhagwan Rama wasn't there, would the forest people have come together? The people of Ayodhya, the new group of people that are coming. If Chinmaya wasn't here in Cleveland, would you have woken up this morning? Right now you'd still be sleeping, correct? Joy brings people together. Love brings people together. Knowledge most definitely brings people together. And it is simple people who can see this. Simple people, they have a simple purpose in life, and that is to be joyous. It is to be loving. It is to be knowledge-oriented. It is complicated people that forget that living is not complex. It is simple. Yesterday I posted a picture of Vyasa on Facebook because I just couldn't resist sharing that he was sleeping with this huge smile on his face. And I was thinking to myself all day, for 10 years I talk about independently joyous, and I'm miserable doing it, but he's just lying down, totally unaware of all and smiling. Because he's not He's not been jaded by that complication, emotional baggage, mind games, he said, she said. Isn't it? Is going to work hard? It's the people at work, correct? Is coming home hard? If it is, it's the people at home. It's not your bed or your bathroom or any matter like that. I had shared last week that Goswamiji says the ninth form of bhakti is saralata, simplicity. For those who have been on our yatras, one of the mottos of our yatras is simple living, high thinking. Okay? So if you're looking at what am I supposed to do with Ramayana, is let's become more simple. Chinmaya teaches us to be Arjuna before Krishna. Everyone else has become Krishna. How? You have to become Arjuna first. Arjuna means Arjavam, the one who's straightforward in thinking, in speaking, in acting. Imagine our politicians actually fulfilled what they promised. Everyone just, what kind of illusion are you living in? We are on the 269th section of Chopais. That's 269. And, I'm sorry, 268. 268th section of Chopais. And I'm going to read the Doha, which is on page 421. Rishi Vashishta, Bhagwan Rama, Sri Bharata, and all of the wise people, the decision makers, are together and they're trying to figure out what to do. So here, finally, Sri Bharata tells Bhagwan Rama, here are our options. He says, Sanuja patiya mohibana kijiya sabahi sanata nataru peri ahi bandhu dou nata chalau me sat. Which means, here are the options that I'm presenting to you, Bhagwan Rama. Option number 1 is that you and Sri Lakshmana come back to Ayodhya, and me and Sri Shatrughna will be in the forest for 14 years. How does Bhagwan Rama respond to this? Doesn't say anything. So Sri Bharata, he's astute. So he says, okay, maybe option 1's not going to work. I should create option 2. So option 2 is, Sri Lakshmana can come back and I'll come with you. So fine, you want to stay in the forest? You can stay in the forest, but I'll come with you. So here, Bhagwan Rama doesn't respond to this either. So option 3 comes in. That us 3 brothers will go to the forest, but you come home. So fine, Sri Lakshmana can stay, and me and Sri Shatrughna will come, but you come home, with Mother Sita, of course. So these 3 options are given. That's where we are right now. There's some lead up to that. The people who are gathered in the forest are unhappy. And they're unhappy because they're confused. The Sanskrit word for confusion is moha. Moha leads to bhaya, or fear. When we're confused about directions, don't we become afraid? We're confused if we've completed this part of our income tax return or not. You become afraid. Will you be audited for this? So the people there are confused. They're feeling afraid. And it is at that time that Rishi Vashishta starts to narrate that this isn't the first time this has happened. This happened in this circumstance, and this happened in this circumstance, and he starts to share thoughts on the Shastra. He talks about Srimad Bhagavatam. He talks about the Upanishad. The people have some sort of ease as they hear that this is not the first time this has happened. And you and I can relate to that. How many of you have been in a car accident before? How many of you have been in more than one car accident? I think the second time it's not as serious, but the first time it's very startling. Your first child, very startling. Second child, right? You're more at ease with that. So as they're hearing this, they feel at ease. But someone who's not at ease is still Sri Bharata. He's deeply empathetic with Bhagwan Rama. And Bhagwan Rama starts calling Sri Bharata Tata. What does Tata mean? Grandfather, but he's not going to call Sri Bharata grandfather. It also means son. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna calls Prince Arjuna Tata. That he doesn't call him brother, he calls him son. Because Sri Bharata is not going to be at ease with diplomacy. He's only going to be at ease when Bhagwan Rama says that you've never left my heart. And Bhagwan Rama is so in tune with love, with Sri Bharata, that he calls him Tata. It's a very beautiful word, like Saumya. Saumya means the one who's sweet. It's not just a female name. In our Upanishads, the father calls his son Saumya. Hey Saumya. You should start calling your kids that. They'll think something's wrong with you. But try it, from now on, at least for this week, at least for this day, at least the car ride home. If you have a son, call him Tata, and if you have a daughter, call them Saumya. But then you should insist that they should call you Pitashri and Matashri. So when Bhagwan Rama brings this ease to Sri Bharata, and Rishi Vashishta has brought ease to the people, that's where Sri Bharata now feels confident in sharing these options. What was the first option? Sri Bharata and Sri Shatrughna replacing Bhagwan Rama and Sri Lakshmana. That was option number 1. Option number 2, Sri Bharata replacing Sri Lakshmana. Remember, we studied that Sri Bharata envies Sri Lakshmana. Option number 3, the 3 brothers will stay in the forest and Sri Rama will come back. As these 3 options are given, Bhagwan Rama does not decide. This is like a soap opera that just goes on and on and on and on. He does not react. I don't want to say he doesn't decide. He doesn't react. And how fascinatingly, as soon as Sri Bharata gives these 3 options, you know who shows up? Raja Janaka. It's like Saved by the Bell, He doesn't know what to do, so Raja Janaka shows up. And Raja Janaka brings his wife, brings his ministers, brings the citizens of Mithila. So now who's over there? All of the people in the forest. Who came next? The Ayodhya Vasis. Now who's there? The Mithila Vasis. Is anyone living in the city anymore? That's a message for us too. Move to smaller cities. There's less stress in smaller cities. So Raja Janaka shows up. He's there with Rishi Vishwamitra. Think, why would anyone want to leave that place? All that one needs is there. And now there's a whole lot of people. What's described is how all of the people are looked after by Mother Earth. The trees start growing fruits immediately. The roots start coming out of the ground. It's shared that the bees started buzzing like in an orchestra. All of Mother Earth started serving the people who are gathered there with Bhagwan Rama from Ayodhya, from Mithila. Sounds good. Now, how is this relevant to the people living in Cleveland, in Morgantown, and so on? When the people are confused, Rishi Vashishta brings in the Shastra. The scriptures are a manifestation of God, of Bhagwan. If you know Bhagwan is with you, can you ever be worried? Can you ever be afraid? But we think of Bhagwan only in a murti, isn't it? When we have arti, we offer arti only to those icons. When if you have a copy of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that is Bhagwan Krishna. At the end of Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga began, Prince Arjuna and others asked Bhagwan, if you're leaving this earth, how will we find you? And he became Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why you carry Srimad Bhagavatam on your head. More important than my laptop is my copy of Ramayana. And it's not just a physical text, it's the teachings. So right here, right now, Bhagavan is with us. It requires a lot of faith, like Rishi Vashishta, who can see what we can't see. Remember, the Shastra is a direct manifestation of Bhagavan. And that's why you see people who have a strong relationship with the Shastra, they don't worry. They're not afraid. Bhagavan Rama, when he's talking to Sri Bharata and calling him Tata, Sri Bharata says to Bhagavan Rama that Rishi Vashishta is my guru and you and Mother Sita are my parents. Knowing that this is my guru and these are my parents, what can go wrong? All will be well. And now bringing it to your life, if you have a loving guru, if you have loving parents, Sri Bharata is saying all will be well. For us, all will be well too. Our challenges are not nearly as intense as what the people in Ramayana are going through. It becomes even more intense in Mahabharata, correct? Today, if there's going to be one message that can be our slogan for the week, it's don't worry, be happy. Inside Rama, outside drama. Carrying over to the options that Sri Bharata gave. You see, in all of these circumstances, Sri Bharata's concern is Bhagavan Rama's suffering. So in option 1, Bhagavan Rama comes back. Option 2, Bhagavan Rama stays in the forest, but who else is there in the forest? Sri Bharata. Which means that if his concern is Bhagavan Rama's suffering, if he's with there, he's not going to allow Bhagavan Rama to suffer. And option 3 is Bhagavan Rama comes back again. The citizens had a very different concern. Their concern was not Bhagavan Rama's suffering. Their concern was being separate from Bhagavan Rama, which is why they all came there, correct? Now in this you understand the difference between Dvaita and Advaita. With Sri Bharata, was he ever separate from Bhagavan Rama? At no point is he ever separate from Bhagavan Rama. He's not concerned about Bhagavan Rama not being there. But the citizens who don't have that love, don't have that knowledge, don't have that joy, they still think that Bhagavan Rama is separate from them. For us too, the evolution of our studies, the evolution of our feeling is that we are always with Guru and God. But we have this, we're experts at the practice of out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? Sundays at 12 a.m. we shift from Ramayana hour to lunch hour, correct? Until 11 a.m. the next week. Goswamiji says in the Veda, there's 3 types of seekers that are described, okay? So I'll give you these 3 types. You define this for yourself. As I'm sharing this, don't hit the person next to you and say, that's you. The first type of person is a sensual person. That person's life focuses on pleasure and possession and position or power. The next type of person is a seeker. A seeker. In other words, they've grown up from pleasure, possession, position. What are they seeking now? Peace. Yesterday in our Beyond Bullying workshop, the thought that I had shared is, why is a bully a bully? Because they are incomplete. They don't feel peace and they don't want anyone else to feel peace either. But if they were made peaceful, would they bully other people? See how we're taking on bullying in, I think, in a short-term way instead of our Shastras are taking this in a long-term way. And the third type is not a sensual person or a seeker, but someone who is serene. That person's not seeking peace, that person is peaceful. Not resting in peace, they're living in peace. When someone is peaceful, they create peace all around them. That's why I described with Bhagwan Rama and the rishis being there, Mother Earth came to serve them. When we become peaceful, prosperity will become our dasi, our dasa. What does prosperity mean? Everything we do from 12 p.m. on Sunday till 11 a.m. the next Sunday will become our servant, rather than us being a servant to that. Will become our dasi, our dasa. The earth will serve us. Now, many of you may be feeling that this decision has been going on for a long time. This is longer than some court cases that happen in Bharat, leave alone America. You know why Goswamiji is sharing all of these details about this person said this and this person came here and so on? Because Goswamiji knows 500 years from the time he wrote this that people would be more distracted. Are your kids more distracted than you? Are we more distracted than our grandparents? And it's not coming to a close. Distractions are growing, no? Now we have medication almost to facilitate that distraction. I'm not saying that in such a harsh way, but you get my point. Goswamiji knows that we're going to be distracted in a sensual way, so he brings so much dialogue and details to keep our focus, to keep learning more and more about these details. When we celebrate Mahashivratri in February, I think it's in February this year, and we try to do a Khanda Abhisheka. A Khanda means an unbroken flow of water, yogurt, butter. When you have this Shivalinga, do you dump that whole pot of butter right at once? Om Namah Shivaya, see ya. It's not like a bath in India with cold water, right? Om Namah Shivaya, and you symbolically took a bath and you leave. You have this akhanda, there's a small hole in that pot and it just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. Here too, it could have been done. Okay, Sri Bharata said do this, Bhagwan Rama said you stay there, I'm going here, and finished. But then back to distractions, isn't it? How to teach is given so carefully by Goswamiji, and for those who study Bhagavad Gita, nobody is a better psychiatrist than Bhagwan Krishna. Nobody is a better psychologist, a better teacher. If you don't want to study Bhagavad Gita for the philosophy, study it for technique. I know one of our mission members in another center, he was telling me when he was young, in the 60s, that Pujaswami Chinmaya would come and speak in Bengaluru. And thousands of people would come, tens of thousands of people. He'd speak in madans, or large fields. And his parents would tell this young boy, I think he was 12 at the time, go and listen to Swami Chinmayananda. And he's 12. So he asks his parents, why? His parents said, to learn how to speak English. Leave the philosophy later. Just go there to learn English. So here too with Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, we can just learn about how to be parents, how to be teachers. Okay. We are now on the 307th section of Chopais. A lot of more details are shared. 307th. I'm on the fourth line, fourth sentence, fourth Chopai, fourth. I'm reading the second line. The decision is made now. And you already know the decision, but now if you know the history of the decision, it's much more meaningful. The fourth Chopai, the last line, Sri Bharata says to Bhagwan Rama, So avalamba deva mohi dei. What does avalamba mean? A support. Give me a support. Now, what is that support that Bhagwan Rama is going to give him? Padukas, no? So he's saying, give me a support. Avadi paru pavau jai soy. So that I can fulfill my responsibilities until the end. So now the decision is made. So some lead up to this. Who did I say was the third group of people to come to the forest? The people from Mithila. Raja Janaka, and what's his wife's name? Sunayana. Nice name. Sunayana doesn't mean beautiful-eyed. She wears a lot of mascara. Sunayana means someone who sees the positive in all, the one who sees the strengths in all. Now, when we say beautiful-eyed, it's always physical, isn't it? You know who had the most beautiful eyes? Surdas Ji. Surdas Ji became blind. And you know what he told Bhagavan Krishna? I'm grateful that you made me blind so that now I only see you. And if we lost our sight, we would stop judging people based on their hair, correct? If they had hair or not. In the resilience workshop that I had mentioned I was speaking at in Minneapolis recently, the research they've done at the Mayo Clinic is that we decide to trust or not trust someone in half a millisecond. Now, in half a millisecond, can you hear anyone? All you do is just pass your eyes over them, and you've decided in that half a millisecond whether you are going to trust that person or not. Now, for a blind person, they can't do that, correct? Sunayana, beautiful name. Sunayana meets with Mother Kaushalya. They're two mother-in-laws that get together happily. And what are these mother-in-laws discussing? Discussing, not gossiping. Gossiping, spreading rumors is a form of bullying. They're not bullies. They are discussing what Yajnavalkya Rishi had shared a long time ago. Yajnavalkya Rishi had told Mother Kaushalya that your son and his family are going to live in the forest and all will be fine. All will be well. So Kaushalya Mata is sharing this with Queen Sunayana because she doesn't know this. She is feeling her daughter-in-law, her daughter is now living in the forest. So Rani Sunayana is very relieved at this. And now nighttime is coming, so she's looking at Mother Kaushalya, and you know what she asks her? Can Sita spend the night with us? It's so beautiful that she asks, can our daughter spend the night with us? And so Mother Sita comes back with her family. And her father then leaves Raja Janaka and Rama and comes to Mother Sita. And he tells his daughter that you are greater than Ganga. Because the Ganga has entered one solar system, but you've entered two solar systems. The implication there is that you've now entered two families. You are even greater than Ganga. Ganga has come to earth, but you've now enamored. You've brought love and joy to not just our family, but to the Surya Vamsha also. That's a nice way to praise your daughter, no? So thoughtful all of this dialogue is. And what's even shared here is Mother Sita actually says that I should go back to Bhagavan Rama. So she actually doesn't spend the night there. She spends time with her family and then goes back to Bhagavan Rama. Family is important, but more important than family is peace. Now we hold the scene there and we go back to another part of this katha, and that is to bring in Indra. What's Indra doing during this whole scene? What's Indra's favorite emotion? FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. Being jealous, always being afraid. So here again, Indra is afraid that if Bhagavan Rama goes back to Ayodhya, then what he wants is not going to happen. You know what Indra does? He spreads his Maya. There's different levels of Maya, correct? So there's Bhagavan Rama's Maya, there's Ravana also has Maya. We'll get to that. Indra has his Maya. And here's the Maya he spreads. He spreads Maya for people to feel sammohana. Sammohana in English means confusion. So if you're ever confused, who's there? Indra. FOMO, jealousy, fear. He spreads Vashikarana. Vashikarana is being hypnotized. You know when you stop thinking for yourself, like a lemming. Vashikarana. Uchchatana. this one is very common, is when you're just rattled. When someone said something and you just cannot shake that. That's uchatana. So he spreads this amongst all of the people in the forest. Why did he do that? He did that so the people in the forest start complaining that we're uncomfortable here. Are they comfortable there? Of course. Earth is serving them. Bhagwan Rama is there. But Indra comes and spreads all of this, so they complain that we don't want to live in the forest. Then Bhagwan Rama has to make that decision faster, correct? To send them back. So Indra, he starts spreading all of this. And then we come, and to be noted, we come back to Sri Bharata. Sri Bharata prays to Mother Saraswati. Who else prayed to Mother Saraswati? Indra too, correct? Indra's prayer sent Bhagwan Rama to the forest. Now Sri Bharata is praying to Mother Saraswati. And he prays to Mother Saraswati, gives Bhagwan Rama these options. Then Bhagwan Rama holds Sri Bharata's hands and sits beside him. And there's a nice portion of a doha I'll read to you. Guru prabhau palahi sabahi bala hohi parinama. Sri Bharata, with our Guru, all in Ayodhya, all in Mithila, all in the forest, is being looked after. Stop worrying. Stop being afraid. And it was that message that Sri Bharata got what Bhagwan Rama's decision is. And so he doesn't ask him again to come back. Now he just asks for a reminder to live as he's just mentioned. I'm going to spend a few more minutes giving the Vedanta to all of this, and then we'll shift to our discussion. How do you really know the true personality of someone? What is the greatest circumstance to know how a person is? High pressure. When they're in an experience of high pressure, that's where one's real form comes out, correct? Like a good driver. When they're slipping, when they're hydroplaning, a good driver will know what to do. An inexperienced driver will not know what to do, correct? But if the conditions are smooth, then even an inexperienced driver is okay with driving. Mother Kaushalya is telling Mother Sunayana the greatness of Sri Bharata, of Sri Rama. She's trying to comfort Mother Sunayana that they're in a moment of high pressure, but you see how happy everyone is. Dharma, or our responsibilities, help us to evolve our guna, the way we think. We should bring more and more dharma into our lives, more and more responsibilities in our lives, because it brings out the best in us. And if it does bring out the worst in us, we know that that weakness is there, correct? It's like shaking a structure. If you shake it, it may break, but that's a good thing. You didn't put more weight on that. You didn't put more, that which is precious on it. It's better to find that out sooner rather than later. And Mother Kaushalya says to Mother Sunayana that only Bhagwan knows the ways of his Leela. Only Bhagwan knows. You don't know. I don't know. And if you don't know, but you have this feeling that someone great, someone wise does know, then just enjoy. Isn't it? When Vyasa is uchatana, when he's rattled, then I hold him like this. He puts his head on my arm and I kind of hold him with his legs, and that's his force field. Nobody can come in that force field. I told Sheila even she can't come in that force field, even though she can, and she can withdraw him from that. But you should just see him. He plops his head on my arm and just looks around. He doesn't know what's happening. Outside, he doesn't know what's really bothering him, but he doesn't worry about it. He's just enjoying in that place. Now imagine for us, that should be every moment. We don't know the ways of this Leela, so enjoy. It's our ego that makes us think we can control this, we can control that person, and nobody enjoys that. We come to believe that the nature of living is misery. But if you know that only the Creator knows, enjoy. Now, Mother Kaushalya wasn't always like this, correct? It took her time to start to appreciate this. That time symbolizes manana. For us to really appreciate what we're exposed to, you have to give this time. You have to give this practice. The Vedanta to Indra's point. Indra is the icon of selfishness. And a selfish person, who do they harm the most? Themselves. Indra's trying to change Sri Bharata's mind. Who's going to be harmed the most in all of this? Indra. Selfishness harms those who are selfish. Selflessness benefits those who are selfless. In this portion of Ramayana, we learn the best relationship between a sevaka and a nayaka. What's a nayaka? A leader, the master. And what's a sevaka? The follower, the servant. The nayaka is using their nayana. And not this nayana, but this nayana, their intellect, their vision. And what is the responsibility of the dharma of a sevaka? Follow. Implicitly follow. That is in the best interests of that whole relationship. A sevaka should act in such a way that brings out the best for that nayaka. You act like that with your families, correct? It's easy to do with our families because it's so tactile, but can we do the same for our community, our society, for humanity? For all of us who are trying to develop our centers, please take this message to heart, that a sevaka follows the nayaka. There is no room for ego there. As soon as the ego comes, there's no more, I'm looking for with this eye, with vision, I'm looking with this eye, which is worldly, selfish, like Indra. When Bhagwan Rama tells Sri Bharata that you are my sevaka, he calls him Tata, and later on he'll essentially say you're my sevaka. That opportunity shows Bhagwan Rama has accepted him. Many times in our Guru-Shishya relationships, the Shishya is always asking, give me a mantra, tie something on my wrist, etc., etc. They're looking for that externality, for something that's subjective, correct? How long will that last? That's why the most refined guru, the subtlest guru, will not do that. Will not give a mantra, will not tie anything, will not say you're my shishya. Because you have to feel that naturally in yourself. When a nayaka gives you the opportunity to serve, that is their acceptance of you. But you have to be sensitive to feel that, isn't it? Even our organizations, even the people who run those organizations, they're playing on people's distractions too. Correct? But the truth is, when you're given that opportunity, that is acceptance. When I was made the resident Acharya of Chinmaya Mission Niagara, I never asked for that. But by me being given that responsibility, I felt such acceptance as being a shishya of the Guru Shishya Parampara. So for all of us who are involved in serving, that opportunity that you have is your acceptance. Feel that and live that confidently. That's why Sri Bharata is ready to go back. Until that sensitivity and feeling was there, he wanted more, wanted more, wanted more. He wasn't acting like a sevaka, correct? When he really invoked Bhagwan Rama, that's when he said, I'm ready to follow my dharma for you. Oh.